Galaxy Z Flip 3 and hold on. Isn't it cool to do this? And that's the review of the phone. It's cool. I used it for 2 weeks now, and the biggest question you might have, are folding phones durable, or is the world ready to buy Galaxy Z Flip 3? Well, this is Prateek. You are already watching TechWiser, and if you love phone reviews, stay wiser. Subscribe to TechWiser and hit the bell icon as well. Let's go. And before we begin, this is a different review. This is a foldable review. If you're here for specs, this is all you need to know. But this is a different phone, and we'll treat it like that. First of all, let's get all the normal phone stuff out of the way. You might already know it has a 120Hz 1080p AMOLED display, folding AMOLED display. There's a 1.9-inch cover display on the back. We'll come to that in a moment. And you have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus all around the back. But you know this, right? But what you don't know is, initially, I was scared to use this phone. Like the initial 2-3 days. But after that, I accidentally threw my phone from one part of the room to another. Boom! It's the first time I'm telling this to anyone, and see, it survived. No scratches. Now, that is not proof that this phone is very durable and will have no problems in the long term. But it can easily handle minor drops and accidents like a normal phone. And Samsung doesn't provide you a cover inside the box, so I've used it all the while without a cover. This is the matte black version, which has fingerprint resistant on the back. And one more interesting thing that happened to me, we are out here to shoot camera samples for the Z Flip 3, and when we tell you the display on the Flip 3 is a huge upgrade over Flip 1, this is what we mean. Here, have a look. The 120Hz foldable display on Flip 3 gets brighter than the iPhone 12. It's a foldable display again. Now for numbers, the Z Flip 3 gets bright up to 1200 nits, which is great for a foldable display. The original Z Flip only got up to 500-600 nits. Meh. And this thing, it's a tall display. So here's what I've done to fix that tallness. First of all, I don't use my thumb to unlock the phone. As you see, it's hard to reach the power button. So I've reprogrammed myself and I use the index finger to unlock the phone. It's quite natural to use the index finger on a tall phone, and I like that. Next up, it's hard to reach the settings menu or app drawer search this way. So I use a Goodlock module. By the way, if you have a Samsung phone, use Goodlock modules. I'll try to leave a link for an article in the description below. So I've customized it now, and I can swipe up to open the app drawer, and now you can easily search any app. And you can also swipe down to lock the screen. So now no touching the power button or doing just tap, 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 tap. More one-hand friendly. Now let's talk about flagship stuff, the camera. See, there's no 2 megapixel macro or depth camera here, like, come on, obviously. So you get a 12 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and a 10 megapixel selfie camera. Now in broad daylight, the photos turned out really good, sharp, like this Manu's portrait is really good. The main sensor has OIS, so even if you shoot videos in 4K 60 FPS, you get pretty good stabilization. Now the selfies are also good, sharp, but I noticed the edge detection during portrait was a bit off sometimes. And here in night mode, if you see this bench, it's exactly how I see it in real life. This lamp, lithophane, the main sensor is good and even color accurate in night mode. However, I found the wide angle sensor in low light to be soft and not on point like you see with this lamp. And for such occasions, you can use the rear camera as a selfie camera. You just double press on the power button and then the cover screen acts as a viewfinder. You can either press the volume button or just raise your hand and it takes a selfie. Moving on to the wide angle camera, it's good. Unless you're shooting in low light, it seems a bit soft. Now, back to performance. The phone comes with Snapdragon 888. If you're purchasing an Android phone, this is the best chip right now that money can buy. And if you're here for games, it's not a gaming phone, but it can still play any game you pick, like BGMI. You can play that really well. You do get ultra frame rate, 60 FPS at smooth graphics. That all is there. Now I know what you're thinking. Does this phone shut down due to extra heating? No, never in my experience. Does the camera stop if you take photos and videos for 1 hour or so? Nope, that neither. So Snapdragon 888 doesn't have heating issues? No, I didn't say that either. But from time to time, you'll feel a bit of heat around the cover display. So if you're a hardcore user, which obviously you aren't, I wouldn't recommend gaming for a long time on this. Like, the heat is fine, but then the battery discharge is high. The last thing to answer for a normal phone is battery. It has a 3300 mAh battery with 15 watt wired charging and 10 watt wireless charging as well as reverse charging option. It took me 1 hour 40 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. Now the battery is not at all enough, especially for a 6.7 inch screen with 120 Hz refresh rate. But this shouldn't be a problem for people who have a charger at your desk, car, maybe. So in terms of screen on time, you get 3 to 3.5 hours. I used it at 120 Hz all the time. You can extend the battery life by disabling always on and switching to 60 Hz only. And here's a personal experience, and I'm not justifying the small battery inside it. No, not at all. But I've stopped using the phone unnecessarily. Like, you are expecting a message and you unlock your phone and start randomly scrolling on Twitter or Instagram. Normal human tendency. Phones are made that way. But here, I would just tap on the cover screen, see the notification, swipe off, that's it. I wouldn't open the phone. By the way, you cannot reply to notifications from the cover screen. Maybe some third-party app or XDA developers can do that. Wait for that. So unknowingly, the smaller battery and cover screen acts like digital well-being, at least for me. It cut down on my phone usage. Also, you get 4G plus carrier aggregation, 13 5G bands. The phone is dual SIM, but the second SIM has to be an eSIM. Of course, in my weeks of usage, I didn't find any problem making call or using the internet indoors or outdoors. But let's keep all of that aside. That's normal flagship phone stuff. What about a folding phone? A phone that folds. Now in the market, there are two types of folding phones. Number one, Galaxy Z Fold 3. These phones look like normal phones when folded, and when you unfold them, it becomes a tablet. So you can see emails, do PDF, use other stuff. There's a productive use to those phones. You can use them like a tablet. Second, a phone which is small when folded and becomes a tall phone when unfolded. So first foremost, there are 4 things that you get on the Z Fold 3 but not on the Z Flip 3. First of all, the Z Fold 3 supports the S Pen and the Z Flip 3 doesn't. Of course, the Z Fold 3 is a productive device. You also get DeX mode and 25 watt charging on Z Fold 3 but not on the Z Flip 3. God knows why. Now back to the Flip. By the way, this is called Flex mode. Wasn't there on Flip 1, and there are a bunch of things you can do with the Flex mode. So first use of Flex mode is if you don't have a tripod and you want to film yourself, use the Flex mode to use the rear camera or even front camera for Reels or TikTok. TikTok, if it comes back, you know that. You can also do video calls this way, which is super handy. Like, I don't have to hold the phone this way and talk to people. I'll tell you one more small use case, personal. Whenever I eat, I watch YouTube videos. So for a normal phone, I use my glasses this way as a stand. Quick life hack. But for the Z Flip 3, I use it this way. Slightly folded, and well, I'm proud to tell you that it can stand on its own feet. Oh my boy. And look what do we have here. The community at XDA has made an app that can pretty much launch any app on the cover screen. Like, I can just watch YouTube video right on the cover screen. Sadly, you still can't launch a keyboard. And I have shown a lot of usage of the Flex mode and the cover screen in the first impression video. You can check that out after watching this video, of course. It just looks cool. The Z Flip 3 looks cool and people will buy it because it looks cool. Like, I've unfolded this phone in a lift, supermarket. People look at the phone. They even ask what phone is that. But the biggest thing is pricing. When the original Z Flip 5G launched, it was priced in India at 1.3 lakhs. It was more costly than a normal flagship smartphone. But this Z Flip 3 right here is 85,000, and it is a flagship phone that folds. And kudos to Samsung for pricing it equal to a flagship. If you step out to buy an iPhone, you get this, the iPhone 12 mini, and you get this, iPhone 12 at that price. You also get the Z Flip 3 at the same price, and trust me, you'll think about buying it once. So end of the deal, should you buy this? Well, if you were thinking of buying the original Z Flip and didn't buy it, get this one, far better. It isn't an early adopter phone now, it has IPX8 waterproofing, now far more usable cover screen and especially sensible pricing. You also get a 7,000 HDFC credit and debit discount, so if you can get that, it makes it way cheaper. And if you're there to buy a flagship, the only thing you won't get here is good battery life, or else it is a flagship phone. And as I said, it looks cool, or cooler than any other flagship. On that note, this is Prateek. You are watching TechWiser. See you pretty soon.